Mijn tien zit eronder. Ups, ja. Moet jij een espressotje hebben of zo? Nee?
Maar gewoon beginnen.
Do it like that. Welcome to the podcast of Indisruptive and Friends. The podcast where we play with industry and tech peers between candy, espresso and soda. And the necessary small talk, merciless trashing or cashing mantras, biases and trends for the next coming years. This podcast is sponsored today by our friends from Industrial Fairs, organizing 6 technology events. Visit industrialfairs.com for our next events. Live from Abyss in Kortrijk Expo. Our guest today, Robert Boute. Robert Boute is a full professor, partner and research dean at Vlerick Business School. He's a doctor in business economics and professor at KU Leuven and Kellogg Management School in the USA. Today, he spoke on Abyss about the latest on the integration of digital technologies in organizations, how it leads to smarter executions and levels up human labor. So, Robert, welcome.
Thank you, Karel.
Who are you? What are you doing?
It's a good question. My background is operations and supply chain. But over the last couple of years, there has been so much opportunities of leveraging digital technologies for operations and supply chain that over time I've been shifting a little bit to more digital operations and digital supply chains.
Yeah, because you're a business guy, huh?
I'm a business guy. So my background is business engineering. I've always been doing research in supply chain management, inventory control, logistics, and that has remained. However, now there's so many new opportunities and so many exciting opportunities to leverage all these technologies into our decision making. So in essence, it's still about optimization, supply chain optimization, operations, maintenance, decision making, but now making use of more data. So you could call it data driven or smart operations. That's basically what I'm doing.
Okay. Now, Robert, when you were entering this event, what were your first called impressions? Because this is really industry, technology, digital platforms. What was your first impression?
Well, it's amazing that you have an opportunity like this to see what's going on in the field because everyone is talking about it. You hear only success stories. But now you have the opportunity to talk to many companies, many organizations, and I think they're all looking into the same opportunities. They all struggle with the same challenges. And I think this venue is a good opportunity to bring all these people together and have a forum to really discuss all that.
Okay. Now, Robert, let's fire up. Let's trash or cash. Enough small talk. Let's start with some mantras that we put through the ringer here. Maybe you don't like to hear it, but according to many people, Industry 5.0 is a fancy toy of technology world to involve everyone who just spent his money on Industry 4.0 back into the investment ringer. Is that your opinion, or can you tell me something else?
So, Karel, as I just told you, I'm a simple operations and supply chain guy. So I like to make things simple. And for me, this whole thing about Industry 4.0, Industry 5.0 is basically the collection of is basically about increasing the level of connectivity between different applications to share data into one central platform. There are different levels. You can first think about from siloed applications to an enterprise platform. I know this is nothing new. We have ERP systems for decades. But still, in industry, you have companies that have a legacy of IT systems. They have an IT system in manufacturing, and MES, a manufacturing execution system. They have IT systems for their maintenance. They have an IT system for their spare parts. But in essence, they all talk about the same things because you do maintenance, because you manufacture. You have to replenish spare parts and replace parts because you maintain them. So it seems like a no-brainer to connect all these applications and to connect the data between these applications and utilize the data from one application into the other. Whether you call this Industry 4.0, whatever, is just basic connectivity. And I
And connecting
agree
the
that
silos between processes
silos
also. Yeah.
between processes. And I know Industry 4.0 is really about connecting all the devices. Now we have IoT, Internet of Things, sensors. We have the opportunity to place sensors everywhere. So now we can say on a manufacturing system, we know exactly what's going on. We know exactly how much is produced. And the benefit is we can take immediate action. If we maintain, now we have a good representation. I'm tempted to say an exact representation of the
Uh-huh.
condition of the machines, but that exact is not entirely true because it may be polluted. Yeah? But still, we have the opportunity to connect our assets and have real time visibility of what's going on in our manufacturing environment. I think that's a major stepstone. And from my perspective of operations and supply chain optimization or in maintenance optimization, well, this is amazing. That we have that real-time visibility and we can do all kind of sophisticated algorithms utilizing these data and leveraging them into better decision making.
But you're talking about two. When we just met, you said to make to keep things simple, or industrial companies decide to make it completely autonomous, replacing human labor,
Yeah,
or by
yeah,
the means of
yeah,
agents and co-pilots, augmenting the
exactly.
value of human
S-
labor.
So
What is the trend
okay,
now?
so the whole question is what are you going to do with all these technologies? Yeah? And I think that there's so much buzz around it. We talk about smart automation, but oftentimes it's not smart or it's not automated. And the point that I'm trying to bring is that if you use digital technologies, either you can use it to collect data in real time or whatever, utilize the data to enable smart decision making because you now can run smart algorithms based on these data. But that does not necessarily mean that you're going to replace human decision making. It can augment human decision making. You can say, I run my algorithms, but still is the human who is going to decide. So I have the feeling that this is already something that is very useful. If we talk about autonomous automation, until recently, Kyle, and I know things are changing very fast, but until recently, what has been automated has not necessarily been very smart. It was simple, repetitive processes or simple tasks that we can automate. But it does not mean that you see the difference? And I think that where we may get to in the years to come is that by increasing the level of intelligence, by improving the prediction accuracy or the prescription performance of our algorithms, the better they get, the more we will be able to automate. But until we really improve on that intelligence dimension, I don't believe that it will all be automated.
Let me put you. Let me have a bold question in that sense that um, it's not the first time that you will be confronted with the question, maybe from your students, but imagine I am a good worker. I'm at the age of 60, probably. I can't open a spreadsheet. I can't work with a spreadsheet. Uh, and now
Yeah, I get
my
your
management
point.
division has
Yeah,
decided to work with some dashboards and other digital platforms.
yeah.
Is there a future for me?
Yeah, it's a good point. Well, I think that in that it's a fair remark. It's a fair point that there will be some education needed. However, if I look around and walk at your booths here at the ABIS, then I see many what I call gamification trends, meaning iPads, tablets, smartphones that we also use in our daily
Hmm.
environment while we will use similar applications in our professional
With a
environment.
low level of entry.
With a low level of entry, and I think we're getting there, and I think it's going to be an important barrier. It's a fair point to stimulate the people to really make use of it and to utilize it, because I mean, I the algorithms are only as good as your data is, and we will need to have the people involved in really providing us with the data. Otherwise, garbage in, garbage out.
Okay,
We can run smart algorithms, but they will actually
got it.
provide very bad
Now,
outputs.
Robert, I know you have a very tight schedule. I know you have to leave, so I wouldn't like to make the man I personally invited nervous. Let's wrap it up in that sense. For the people who are listening and people who are probably listening after their visit on Abyss, what final message can you give as a common thread in your class that you already given? How organizations should, as of today, handle digital technologies?
Okay.
How manual labor should level up to smarter execution?
Okay.
What are your
My-
short key takeaways before?
Yeah, my
we leave
final
each other?
recommendation is don't wait too long. Because we can wait for years and saying until the technology matures, but then we risk that we are too late.
The gap is getting wider.
The gap is getting wider. I mean, don't wait too long. Start implementing with pilots. Start learning with the new technologies. And it may not be widespread across the entire organization, but at least you acquire the skills. At least you have an understanding, or you gain an understanding, that's probably a better way, to know what is the level of quality of your data. We all want to use the data, but we don't know how. And then we start
It's
using
all
it.
legacy
I'm
data
telling you,
from
Karel,
legacy
we have a
machines.
legacy of IT
Yeah.
systems. The data that I've worked with in many organizations when we start is not as good as we hoped for. And I'm very cautious
small,
in my words.
Smart, sober,
Start
with common
small,
sense.
yeah,
and make small
and don't wait.
objectives. Okay, Robert, I thank you very much. When people want to get in touch with you, because you have so many roles in Vlerick and KU Leuven and in America and things like that, can they follow you anywhere? Or do you are you publishing stuff that you would like to share with people?
So people can always reach out to me. I mean, we have a public profession, so we're public. If you Google my name,
Just
can-
Google your name
you
or
can
follow
find-
you on LinkedIn or
you can follow me on LinkedIn. But if you Google my name, you can reach out to
Robert
me.
Boute
Yeah.
on LinkedIn, and normally you get all the updates.
And obviously, allow me to say that we have many programs at Vlerick Business School where we can also help companies to educate them and help them in their journey towards digital transformation.
Final thoughts, exactly for professionals in the industry who would like to get or who would like to know more about digitization and management all around these things. They can, of course, follow extra courses at Vlerick Business School. Thank you very much, Robert.
Thank you, Karel, for
Thank you.
inviting me. Thank
Bye.
you very much for the podcast.